You really want to go with mommy? Go ahead. Good luck. Go ahead. Go with mommy. Go ahead. He even barks when he wants to leave the room. Dog is nuts. Barking, telling me, I want out of the room. Not in, I want out. So go. See ya. So it looks like maybe I've been talking about rapid intensification, till, I don't know if I can get blue in the face at this moment because I'm so suntanned, but I've been talking about it. If people pay attention, and because that water's so warm, it's rapidly intensifying. Now, it hasn't been over open water for that long, so it's not going to intensify to a Cat 3, of course. Doesn't have the time based on the movement as well, but in the Panhandle, somewhere in the Panhandle, there might be a Cat 1 making landfall. Now, what it does after that, oh my gosh. It can go back off the coast, stall, redevelop, because it's going to go over land and lose its juice, and either come back and make impact somewhere in Georgia, South Carolina, and possibly as a Cat 1 again. So this is a crazy, crazy storm. I don't know about that forecast because right now, because everything that's going on, there's a front coming in. It can get swallowed up and go back inland. If that high pressure comes in a little bit more, it's going to push it onshore. There's so many things that could happen. But right now, it's all about Florida. It's incredible how this thing was just a low pressure lingering down here. And once it hit this open water, it's just rapidly intensifying. Because it's over open water. So I'm sure they're prepping in Florida, like Tallahassee. I got to look at the models. I haven't. Good morning, Lewis. Daggers. Yes, you got to be careful because it's the steering currents. Anything could happen. You have to be on guard from the Panhandle all the way up to North Carolina. And I've been talking about this for a week. Because I'm good with the weather. I'm telling you. People that have been following me for a while know this. And I don't just say that from an egotistical point of view. That's just fact. All right, let me just set up everything else. But good morning to everybody out there. Good morning, Sunday morning. Boy, and we'll get into the weather first. Over here, we're going to have thunderstorms. Yesterday, we had some strong storms, but nothing really happened, thank God. And when I was driving to Pine Bush, it was in the rain the whole trip. But it wasn't bad. So that was good. Let me make sure YouTube is muted because I can't hear it. Good, it is. And we'll get into the Pine Bush thing in a second. Let me just get all these chats organized. And I always say the Euro is more reliable than the American model. It just is. And since the onset of this, which model do you think was right? The Euro. The American is catching up. But it's still that Euro. If you ever do like monitoring of the weather and the models between the American and the Euro, choose the Euro. Now, when it's a couple of days out, you could look at both. But they're not agreeing right now. To this moment, the two models are not agreeing. Because we're still a few days out from anything that happens off the Carolinas or Georgia. So I bet you money that they don't even agree now. We'll find out in a second. And Windy is the best place to monitor this. And anyone can use Windy. It's free. I have the paid subscription, but the free version is just as good. Okay, we're set. I'm hoping you can hear me. I mean, people don't listen. That's what I'm saying, Dagger. Some people just don't listen. I could talk about weather-related stuff forever, but people don't listen. You know, that's what I meant. It's like falling on deaf ears. But anyway, let's see. So this is the euro. Let's see what it's saying by tomorrow morning. This thing is moving fast, which is a lifesaver. See from now to tomorrow morning where it is? Because it's moving so rapidly, it doesn't have time to intensify. That is a saving grace. Because if that thing was a slow mover, it would have time to organize and it could become a Cat 2 or even a Cat 3. But it doesn't have time because it's moving fast, which is great. It's very fortunate, actually. But you can see the euro is predicting some type of landfall. What is that? Steinhachi? But you could see where is the storm surge going to be down here. This is where they'll have storm surge. So they need to watch. Let's see what the American is showing. The American has it a bit stronger with onshore flow here. And the eye making landfall more to the west. So that's what to see, they're not even agreeing now, 24 hours out. We're going to see which one ends up being right. Is it going to be down here more? Or is it going to be here? So this is where it gets dicey now. This is where it gets dicey. Let's look at Tuesday. So the euro, look at all this onshore flow. Because the low is still getting a lot of its energy from the ocean. Even though the eye is over land and it doesn't develop, it loses its intensity. But look at all that energy coming off the ocean. That's warm, warm water. So then what does it do? It's going back over the water. Both models probably have that, but they're probably going to disagree where it goes from there. Look at that. Back over water. Warm water. Look at that. You're talking at least a strong tropical storm or a hurricane off the Carolinas coming up. Look at that. Like I said earlier, luckily this thing does not have time to redevelop. But look how fast it's developing just in that little time period. Going offshore and just bumping up the coast a little. Because the water is above normal temperatures. We don't need these systems in the Atlantic, the Gulf, the Caribbean, because the water's above normal and they have rapid intensification. That's their food. That's their energy source. And I cannot drill this into people's heads more. Because, you know, nothing's going to happen. I hope not. The point is that it's unpredictable. You cannot predict it. You don't know what storms are going to develop. The point is, if they do, it can be a shitstorm. For those who live in the coastal areas from Cape Hatteras down all the way to Florida and the entire Gulf Coast areas. And the hurricane season is just starting to go upward in its peak, which the peak is September 10th. September 10th. When we had Superstorm Sandy here, that went up the coast and then made the left turn, that was October 29th. The hurricane season doesn't diminish till November. We're not there yet. We're not even reaching peak. This is why now's the time paying attention from this month, August, all the way into October. Now is the time to pay attention to the Atlantic, the Gulf, and the Caribbean, or the Caribbean. Now. So this is the euro. That is not that impressive. Why is that not that impressive as a storm? Anybody want to guess? Look at the eye. Is that a tight eye wall? No. It's a very large eye wall, which means that's probably going to be a tropical storm. It's not tight. That shows the intensification. It doesn't have that tight eye wall. It's wobbly. See it? So I don't think it could be a low. What's up, Witch Moon? It could be a low grade, maybe Cat 1 as it enters the Carolinas. Possibly. One model indicates. And that's not set in stone. Neither is the intensification. Because if that thing takes more time over the water before it comes back in, it's going to intensify. Like I said, they're having a hard time probably predicting this storm. If I had to guess, they're probably freaking out like, what? We don't know how to make a forecast for this. Because I bet you the euro doesn't have this. And this is Wednesday morning. Let's see what the American model. Look where the American has it. More to the south, right off of Georgia coastline. And it's not as powerful, but it's big. It's a big rainmaker. But it's not being shown as, it looks like a regular low. Maybe a depression. Maybe tropical storm because of the size. But let's see where it goes. Look at that, right into Georgia. Left turn. And that's not a hurricane. That could be a low-grade tropical storm, more like a depression. But it's a hell of a rainmaker. Flooding and prone areas. This is a rainmaker. So either way, you're going to have impacts. But look at that surge coming into the coastline. It's Charleston. Charleston is a flood-prone area. And they have an onshore flow of a surge coming in. Pretty much that surge is going to exist all the way up to, I'd say, here. If this model, you could see the onshore flow. It's not going to be bad, not that bad. The more south you go, like Southport, and here, you are in the middle of the two predicted landfalls. So you're right there. You're going to get something in this area. Whether it's the American model that takes it more south, making the left turn to Georgia, or the Euro, which is more, in my opinion, reliable than the American, going further north. So both of these models need to be watched. And this is not till midweek. Look at this, right onshore. But thank God it's not a strong storm. Because it's going over Florida. It's going over land. It's going to lose its punch. Thank God this thing didn't ride up the Florida coast and go toward the Carolinas. Then we'd be talking about a different type of scenario here with a storm. But fortunately, it's not for this one. But again, this is the American. I don't put money on the American. I never do. I put it on the Euro. Look where the Euro has it. Look at that. It even has an earlier timetable. Let's go back a little bit. Look at that. Look at that onshore flow coming in here. And it's a fast mover, which is again saving grace. But look at that onshore flow coming into this area here. That's more intense. Even though it may not be a Cat 1, but you've got some storm surge. So this has to be watched. Look at this. And I'll say it one more time. Thank God this thing didn't have the time to redevelop either model over the Atlantic or stall and regain strength. Be very thankful for that. But these areas, anywhere from Wilmington down to, sure, even as far south as Brunswick, Savannah, Georgia. I'll say Savannah. Anyway, from Savannah to Wilmington, you need to watch for another landfall of this eye, possibly making impact in here. So everybody should be on guard. The Georgia coast, South, North Carolina coastlines, for storm surge especially, flooding. A lot of flooding from rain. People need to pay attention to this. I'm not saying it's going to be a wind event, a Cat 2, even a Cat 1. A lot of rain, storm surge, not severe, but there will be some storm surge. But right now, all eyes are on what's going on now. And it is rapidly intensifying. But it's moving fast. So it doesn't have the time. So that isn't even right now. Let's refresh. Let's look at it now. Yeah, just there's the bump. So there it is right now. So it can go anywhere from here to here for landfall. Let's fast forward. Yep. I'm telling you, thank gosh this thing doesn't have time to develop. That water is upper 80s. That's fuel. There's also looks like there's some interaction coming in from the west and the northwest. But now it looks like that's retreating. So Florida, I'm sure Florida is preparing for this, as they should be. Again, storm surge, onshore flow. So that's the Euro. Steinhatchee. Looks like, yep, that's what they predict. Look at this onshore flow here, Cedar Key. Look at this onshore flow storm surge in this area. Let's see what the American is showing. Oh, the American just shifted a little bit more to the east. So they're getting closer together now. One has it here, one has it here. The American just bumped more to the east. See what I mean about the American? The American just caught up to the Euro. Literally minutes ago. This was different. It was more to the west. It shifted now more to the east. So now you have both models, the main models, showing landfall anywhere from here to here. That's not much of a difference. So Florida, I'm sure they're preparing in this area. Oddly enough, and again, I don't trust it, the American has something again next week off the Carolinas. Again. This has to be watched. This. And this one is almost taking the same kind of a track. Look at this. Now, that's far out. That may disappear tomorrow. It may not even be there. But when the model starts showing indications, it's right here, of another system, pay attention. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but just got to be. The models are showing that conditions are favorable. And then you have to look at the Atlantic. And here's another system coming off the Atlantic right here. Which this goes west. It can curve up. It could die. Or it could keep coming. So a lot of the systems that we get, of course, come from Africa. That's the way it is. That's why I pay attention to what's going on in Africa. When I see these little systems and these pieces of energy, and they go offshore, and then they make their way across the Atlantic, they can curve out, they can die, they lose their energy, wind shear, whatever. But this is where you monitor. And right now, there's a couple areas of interest to watch that they're showing in the forecast models. And there's another low. But I have a feeling that one's going to die from wind shear. It's still there. Just got shredded from this. Destroyed. This is probably a high pressure. And it is a high pressure. That is unbelievable how big massive this thing is. Look at this. This high pressure is a big influence right here. But look at that. So this is what you watch for. And that's just tearing it apart. Look at this high pressure now. Now the good thing about a high pressure like this is systems, if they develop, they get turned out. They get caught in it. It depends where they are. But they can get caught in the high and the steering currents take it back out, which is a good thing. I just don't like what's going on in the Carolinas on this model for next week. This isn't this storm. This is next week. Let me see what the Euro's showing. Oh, the Euro's having a piece of energy right here. That needs to be watched. That's definitely a piece of energy. Oh, yeah. It's too far out. But there's a little area that looks like it wants to develop some kind of circulation in here. So this is what we need to watch. The season is just going to start ramping up now. The hurricane season. Now, as far as up the East Coast, let's see where they're predicting if it's going to affect us here with rain. Oh, it's moving up the coast now. Well, look at this. Look at this. For those in the mid-Atlantic and the East Coast and New England, we need to keep an eye on this too, if the Euro is right. Look at that. That's not so good either. Let's hope the Euro model's wrong. It's offshore though. And the winds are coming from the north, which doesn't create any storm surge. Doesn't look to be too bad. Yeah, it's moving out to sea now. It's making the turn. Wow, we might have a close call here. That's too far out to predict. Because now that thing is showing, because they always make that curve eventually. It's going to be interesting. That's going to be close. And that's next Saturday. That's a week from now. That's hard to predict that. Let's see what the American is showing. Something crazy, probably. I don't even see it. Where did it go? Let's go back. Okay, this is the American. Okay, it's going west. It's here. The leftover is here. Don't tell me that the American is going to have this storm go back into the Gulf area, and that's the one we're seeing. It is. That is sick. This is what the American's saying. This storm Debbie is going to go make the left turn to Georgia, go into, say, Alabama, then come back south, re-enter the Gulf. This is bizarre. Re-enter the Gulf and become another storm again. Yeah, that's it. It's right here. It's entering the Panhandle. Look at this. That's Debbie. That's the remnants of Debbie. Coming back into the Gulf, making like a full circle. That's Debbie. And then reforming and insultingly almost hitting the same area with storm surge and everything. That is bizarre. That's bizarre. Debbie's going to go, this is what the American is saying. Debbie's going to go up, cross over Florida, southeastern Georgia, go back over the Atlantic coastline, then spin there for a little bit, and then come back in, go into Georgia, go across westward to like Alabama, and then go south, back into the Gulf of Mexico, and then come back up again. That is so bizarre. That is bizarre. That's the same storm. And that's a week out. That's why I don't trust it. But, and then it has it going almost the exact same path as it is now, except it's not taking it over the water, open water again. It has it hugging the Carolina coastline, which is still, can you imagine this model being true? It still has it going up the same areas that are going to get most likely some kind of an impact in the next few days. It has it coming back for a second time. That is bizarre. Look at that. And that's 10 days out. Not to be trusted. That model is not to be trusted. But, because the eye could even be over the water. That may not be there at all. Can you imagine being hit by the same storm twice? That's cray-cray. Debbie's back. Can you imagine what the weather people, they'll go nuts over this. They got hit with this storm midweek, and they may get hit again with the same storm. I wonder, this is one thing I do not know. It's named Debbie. What happens if it does reform and come back into the Gulf like this model's saying? Does it still stay the same name, Debbie? Because it's been downgraded, it's lost its character. It's not a storm anymore. It's a low pressure. So do they say it's Debbie again? I don't think so. I don't know. I've never run into that. I have no idea. But that's bizarre. Now let's look at one more thing before I get off the weather. I can't even see my other monitor. Let's check out Radar Omega. It's getting hot in here. Let's look at one of these. So they have it as a Cat 1. I pretty much saw that coming. And there, you see this model? Which model are they choosing? Which model are they using? The American. They're so stubborn. They won't even consider using the euro. They're stubborn. That's the American. How do I know? Because we just looked at where the landfalls could be, and it's pretty much predicting the American one. Now, they should, because the other one has it coming near here. The euro. They should have combined the two models, at least. But I won't even get picky. But let's see. Tropical storm. Right now. I'm just looking at the different points. So they're already going through tropical storm effects here. I'm trying to hit that radar. For some reason it's not letting me. There we go. It's not really showing it. Oh, there's some storms here. Can't really see. The satellite imagery will be better. But let's see what the alerts are. 140 tornado warnings. What the heck? Florida, tornado warnings already. This is what happens when you have those bands. Isolated tornadoes. That's not uncommon. So you got to watch out for these tornadoes. That seems to be the only one. Thank God. So there is a warning. That's a warning. That means radar indicated. It's not a tornado watch. It's a tornado warning. Meaning at some point, radar indicated some circulation to indicate there was a tornado. That's when they issue that. But I don't see nothing. There's a little curvature here, but I don't see nothing. Where else are these crazy alerts? I don't know why it says, oh, all the alerts are tropical. I was going to say, that's hurricane warning. Are all up here, obviously. So stretching anywhere here. They've got all the alerts going on for hurricane warning, for Debbie. And there's a ton. Hurricane watch, let's see. Yeah, because it's in Florida coastline. There's going to be more updates. There's a ton of them. Storm surge warnings. There's so many. Again, where the hurricane is predicted to make the landfall. Somewhere in there. But you're going to see, after the storm, whenever they figure out where it's going to go, you're going to see all kinds of warnings popping up. Georgia, South Carolina, even North Carolina. You're going to see all kinds of warnings popping up there next. If it follows the trajectory that they're saying. So, like I said, do not put your guard down. Georgia coastline, Charleston for sure, because that's a flood-prone area. South Carolina, especially South Carolina. And North Carolina too, but I don't think it's more to the south. From Wilmington Point south, you need to watch this storm. It's not a Cat 1, most likely when it impacts that area, but a strong tropical storm. And still, if you live on that coastline, storm surge is a major concern. Because it just is. So for here, it doesn't look too bad. See, that front is a key too. We're experiencing that front now. Will that front push it more off. Make it, because that's what's going to steer it. It's going to push it. But what happens after the front goes through? Then what does it do? See, there's a lot of ingredients on this screen here. It's going to be, this forecast is not as easy as people might think to predict. There's a lot of players on that screen. That high pressure, why do you think they're going to say it's going to make a left turn? A high pressure is clockwise. It may steer it inland, get caught up in that high. The steering currents may push it to make that left turn. They don't know where that high pressure is going to sit. That's why they're like, the models are like, they don't know. The models don't know where these high pressures are going to set up. It's very important. There's a lot of question marks on that screen when I look at it, on the path, just by looking at it. Because you have a front here. This is a front. That front has to push through. Or will it? That pushes the storm. But up here, we have a couple of issues to monitor ourselves this afternoon. That's why I'm not bike riding this morning, because it's too risky. By the time I get out there, this is going to develop. There's going to be a line developing here. And you got to see our temperatures next week. Normal, beautiful. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Upper 70s all week. Tomorrow's supposed to be 90, but after that, it clears out. It's going to be unsettled, but we're going to have nice temperatures here. The high, the normal highs is 81 degrees for August. That's our normal high. It's going to be 78. It's going to feel so awesome. Goodbye, Witch Moon. I have to tell you, I can't tell you publicly. I would suggest you email me, and I will tell you. But I cannot discuss it here. But you deserve to know what's going on. Email me there and just say it's hi Bill, it's Witch Moon. Or say something else that I know it's you for sure, because just because I'm saying it, people might say it's you. That I know it's you. Okay, do this. On a stream, what did I do with you? On a past stream with someone else that I called. But I gotta fill you in. By the way, there is some nasty shit going on regarding the farmhouse, the Conjuring house. Oh my God, it's getting really, really ugly. Really ugly. It's not good. Especially when the owner's going public with stuff that is not true. And I'm just going to refer to it. All right, we're done with the weather for now. I will refer to it the best I can, because I don't want to jump into a biased situation here. Damn, I thought I sent it to Ken. I might have texted it to him. Okay. Who sent it to me? Annie sent it to me. Hold on. I gotta go to Facebook for Messenger. It's ugly. I will even say it's sad. Where's Annie's message? Oh, she might have texted it to me. Oh, boy. Let's just do it. It's the easiest way. I'm gonna tell you, behind the scenes, there's a lot of ugly. There's a lot of hateful, jealous people trying to do harm to others. I guess it's human nature. People are built that way to be. When they're bitter or angry or they're miserable and they want to see other people just as miserable as they are. That's the sad truth. But my God, what's going on? Even last night. What when I was at Pine Bush, what this guy is going through is sick. Randall Nickerson. Okay. Let me share this link to myself. Where the heck is Skype? I gotta put the air on. I'm dying already. Okay. I should have it now. Oh my God, it's her birthday. I would call her, but I don't want to. Oh my God, it's Patricia's birthday today. Okay. Let's get out of Facebook. So now I should have the article. The owner came out with this. And I'm going to tell you, this is a lie. Downright lie. This is not true. Because I know almost everybody who worked there. If not all. Everybody that, and Witch Moon, if you're still here, you're getting a crazy storm near you now. It's going to come later. Witch Moon knows a lot of the people that work or worked at, let's call it the Conjuring House. This is true. They have been accused of stealing money. The Conjuring film was created after Andrea Perron wrote the book. So, I don't know about this individual's situation. Maybe he was fired, but I can tell you that everybody else walked off the job. They left. They resigned. Altogether. Now, as far as this one, owner fires employee, singular, could be true. But that doesn't tell you what's going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes with this. And I'm not going to get into those details. But the staff walked out together. Now, like I said, as far as this individual is concerned, look at Annie. Oh my gosh. She looks so different there. As far as this individual, Brian, I don't know anything. I don't know. Maybe he was fired. I'm not going to discount that. As far as he is concerned, it's very possible that he was fired being accused of stealing. But here's the problem. I don't know if they're doing any more tours. I don't know what's going on there, but there's a mortgage payment involved on this property. The income is not coming in. I don't know what's going to happen to this house. Let me put the air on. So there are a lot of question marks right now regarding this property. Is she going to be able to hold on to it, pay the bills? And a lot of people that worked there were not getting paid but still stayed on, the staff, even though they were not getting their pay. But they still continued to work. The staff continued to work. But yeah, this is what's going on. It's a mess. It is an absolute mess what's going on at the Conjuring House or the farmhouse. It's a mess. Now, yesterday, went to Pine Bush. Lucky for everyone. I brought my laptop. I brought an HDMI cable. I brought equipment, as I always do, just in case. And lucky, because the equipment that was brought there did not work. So I had to use my laptop. I have the movie on my laptop now because it had to be done. So everything went off perfectly last night for Randall Nickerson's movie, the Aerial Phenomenon film, which is excellent. I suggest anybody who's interested in ufology watch that film. What the kids said at the time in Zimbabwe, and they drew pictures of what they had claimed they had seen, and you see the body language, you hear their voices. These kids, to me, I'm 100% convinced that they definitely had some kind of an experience on that schoolyard, on the peripheral. They definitely had some kind of an experience. It's not a made-up story. You need to see the film, make your own opinion on it. But as far as I'm concerned, and everybody in that audience last night was sold. It's an incredible documentary that Randall did. Aerial Phenomenon. And he really got into John Mack and what he went through, and how his peers tried to destroy his credibility in Harvard, which they succeeded, by the way. Even though he stayed on as a member of Harvard, there was a point where that was questionable, that they were going to get rid of him. You have to see the comments from Alan Dershowitz and some of the other people that were part of Harvard at the time, saying, I think he's lost it. I think he's wrong. Oh my God, it was ugly. He died in 2004, John Mack, 20 years ago. This is actually the 30th anniversary. It was, I think, in September of 1994 that this happened. And you can see the children as adults coming back and speaking about it. And it's powerful. And he was telling me about a lot of the stuff that's not in the film. And the things he's experienced, not good. Again, and he's not alone. I don't want to speak for anybody else, but behind the scenes, I'll just say it like this. There are a lot of filmmakers that do these documentaries and then are intimidated. because they're the ones bringing this to the forefront to the public. But you're going to have skeptics. You're going to have people that are going to say, well, I cannot believe any of this unless I see evidence. I get that. I'm one of them. But at the same time, I'm open-minded, just like I have faith in God. I'm open-minded to what is going on. And they don't want this information getting out to the public. And as Randall and I said last night in front of the people, like he confirmed, there is a big-time whistleblower coming. Where it goes from there, I don't know. And Randall was like, Bill, because I was talking, I actually did, after his movie was over, I did my own little mini presentation with Randall together. I was asking him questions, the audience. I was showing my video of the thing that I caught over the house. The people because those are my people. It's my community. It's the Hudson Valley. I said, well, and then other people started talking about their experiences. When I said this, look, and Randall lives in the Berkshires, Michael, which I'm going to stay at his house. He has 12 cameras on his roof. I'm going to stay over his house and we're going to do something together. Skywatch thing. We talked about it last night. But people, I said about, look, I live in the Hudson Valley. I live right next to, right near the Hudson River. This is what I captured about my house 10 years ago. We live here. It's happening. It's still happening all around us. Then a woman comes forward and says, yes, I live in Newburgh. And she described what she's seen. I had people coming to me after the event was completely over, telling me about this stuff. I even called Chris DePerno. I said, Chris, they made a report to you. They're not happy what your field investigator did 3 years ago. I called Chris. Chris was like, what are you talking about, Bill? I don't know who you're talking about. He knows. I got to call him today. But then I was talking. What is going on with people having all kinds of health issues? Oh my God. Who are you? Ugh. Uh-oh. Today's Kathleen Martin's birthday. Kathleen Martin is the niece of Betty and Barney Hill. It's her birthday today, so... What time is it? I should actually call her. I don't know if she'll pick up, but I have to say happy birthday. I love her to death. I do. This is personal. This isn't business.
Your call has been...
There! I know you're busy. It's your birthday. And I just wanted to say personally to you, I love you. Enjoy your birthday with your husband. And have a great Sunday.
Oh, thank you so much. That was such a nice call you made. I truly appreciate it, Bill.
Yes, and I'll be in contact, obviously. If anything comes up with you, let me know, because I'll promote whatever you're doing. And definitely put Pine Bush circled on your calendar for next year.
Yes. Now, what is that?
We're still to say happy
Okay.
birthday and I love you. And you have a great one today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Talk soon. Love you.
Okay. Love you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Damn, I got totally confused. But there's a lot of stuff that these people go through in the background. It's not good. Like Travis is a friend. Travis Walton is not just a colleague or an associate. Travis and I are friends. Like, we've developed a serious relationship between the two of us. I'm called. He says, "Yeah, there's Bill, my assistant." That's what he says in front of people, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" He calls me his assistant because Travis meets so many people. Sometimes he has difficulty recalling names. You can only imagine how many people he comes across. Now I'm gonna, but before I do that, so last night, because I brought my equipment, it turned out to go off awesomely. I hate to say that, but I did save the night again. Okay. So, yes, there. Oh my god, now it won't stop. Okay, I have to do this right away. I have photos from last night, but I gotta get a group call together. Work never stops, and last night was work. There's some interesting developments from the people I met last night. That's why it's important to go to these events too. Networking. Pick up the phone, Chris. Pick up the freaking phone, Mr. DePerno. Pick up the fucking phone. What's going on? I'm live streaming, just so you know. So last night I called you because, like I said, their names were Deb and Walt. And 3 years ago, they put in a MUFON report, and they weren't happy with the way the field investigator put it on paper. And they were at a party near a lake, and she seen what looked like a line, and he seen like a red ball behind it. I don't know if you recall this, but they knew you. They were like, "Yeah, we spoke to Chris. We know Chris." I was like, "Chris DePerno?" "Yeah, him." And then when I called you last night, they were walking out, and they heard your voice. "Oh my God, he's talking to Chris right now." So it was kind of a funny thing what was going on last night. You had told him, which makes sense, that once the case is in a report, they really don't go back and redo, like make an addendum or do stuff for that case. But they said you were really a very nice guy. They liked you. They just didn't like their field investigator at the time. But this was 3 years ago.
Who was the field investigator?
They don't remember the name.
Yeah, I don't either. But I will tell you this, that sometimes sometimes people get upset. You see, here's the thing. If I turn around and say to my field investigator, no, you have no idea what this case is about and everything, it kind of makes them feel like, oh my God, Chris doesn't have any confidence
Yep,
in me.
I know what you mean.
So you gotta sometimes go say, if it was a real like major case, then that's a different story. You can kind of interject. But if it's a simple case, and they look at it and they go, ah, geez, and I if I remember this right, and I don't know if I
There's no photos, videos associated. It's just testimony. There's nothing. There's nothing associated. But they were based on, and he's a retired engineer for engines of planes. He worked in a manufacturing plant that built engines, aircraft.
last night with this showing.
Oh, dude, I saved it. I saved it again, Chris. Bill came through again. I saved the day.
What happened?
So Randall had brought his equipment,
Yeah.
but it wasn't working. He brought like multiple laptops, but they weren't working right. So I brought my laptop, all the stuff that I bring. I always do, just in case. This way I don't have to run back to my house because it'll be too late. And I hooked all my stuff up. He downloaded. He had the film on a external drive, and I was able to put it on my laptop, and I was able to show it, and it worked flawlessly. I paused it. We went over where we're gonna pause it because there was an intermission for like 20 minutes. It went off awesome. He's actually Randall and he's awesome. He's an awesome guy.
Is he a good guy?
Oh God, yeah. So he invited me to his house to do a skywatch in the Berkshires.
Oh, when's that?
We have to catch up. I'm not gonna bother him for a few days because he's traveling.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely. He's got 12 cameras on his roof, and he says, "Bill, we could set it 12." And he sees stuff all the time over there. He's really, dude. He's been into this for a long time. He's very passionate about this field. Very.
Dude, there's a lot of activity all over the United States right now.
Yep. And so I'm gonna go there. He said, "Bill, we could sit back and look at on all my monitors." He must have one hell of a setup in his house.
Oh yeah, I bet you he does.
Oh my God! And he was telling me stuff that was not in the movie.
No
Do you
kidding.
know there was a young girl? Her name was Emily Trim, I believe her name is. She was actually at one of the MUFON. No, she spoke at Alejandro's and Karen's thing, Open Minds,
Uh-huh.
like a few years ago.
Yeah.
Her brother was so traumatized that he never went back to the school. He went back to home, and he tried. I gotta be careful because I'm live. He tried to have him come forward for this film, but he refused. A story that was told to the audience last night, which I can say publicly because he said it to the audience, is that he put the kid's drawing on a table with a notebook. The guy, who's an adult now, obviously, his name is Paul, put the notebook on the picture and says, "I don't want to see that. I don't want to talk about that. I'm not coming forward. I just can't." You know what he does? He's a bear hunter. And
What?
a bear hunter in Canada.
Ah,
Because that's his way to deal with his fear. That's how scared this kid was.
the thing.
Huh?
That's a hell of a way to deal with it.
Yes. But that's his way to deal with the trauma. That's just one example.
A lot of people have PTSD after their experiences.
Yes, a lot of these kids did.
I gotta tell you, I've always suspected of the ones that say they had a wonderful time.
Yes.
I'm not saying that they're lying or anything, but it's just like, because 99% of them have a terrible, the abduction phenomenon is terrible.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is I have the movie on my laptop, and I'm gonna do a private thing for you. This is a research thing. Obviously, I wouldn't share it with the public, but for you and some of the other hosts, on the network for future
Yeah.
reference to get him on a show. You have, if you haven't seen Aerial Phenomenon, you must. You must see it. You have to see the kids, all these different kids and their testimony at the time and what they said to John Mack. John Mack got out of them more than the initial interview that was done by BBC. That person died. I could tell you all kinds of background that Randall told me when he was making the movie, because he spent 15 years. He spent over a year in Africa living there. You got to hear the stuff that was going on. And you want to hear another funny, stupid thing? He approached the Zimbabwe government to try to get the flight data. They said on that one day it was down. He approached the African government, and they also said that for that day, the radar was down. They all came up because they don't want to give up that information. They don't want to give up that data. Meanwhile, they scrambled the next day, fucking jets, like F-4s, our old planes. They scrambled them and were flying low altitude like they were looking for something. Now, the kids in the movie, I don't want to give it away. Listen to what the kids say and the connections that they have, all different descriptions. It's not like they all came together and came up with one story to like make up. You can tell they're coming from different angles. You look at their body language. It's incredible. Chris, this is a must-see documentary. I'm telling you.
Wow, Bill. So I'm trying to think of that. You know, I thought the aerial thing was kind of like dying down. People weren't talking about it. So that's good that he brought that up. It's good that he made a documentary on it.
Well, Netflix pretty much took his material and made their own thing, and they're up for an Emmy for it.
And he's not getting anything for it.
No, but he's in the middle of litigation. You know, he's in the middle of that. I could tell you that, because he worked with them for over a year, or for a year.
And they didn't have any contracts or anything with him. He didn't sign a contract.
They just like, this is why people have to be. And I had a conversation with another filmmaker, but I can't talk about it right now.
Yeah.
She's making something that should be released soon. And I told her, talk to Randall, talk to Darcy, talk to some of these others, James Fox, talk to them and see what happens when they get screwed over by distribution companies. Because it's all over the place, Chris. So many.
I tell you, I got screwed.
I know. We're live now. I know what you're referring to, but I don't want to put it out there.
Food. I know Linda Zimmerman.
Uh-huh.
And stuff. So I mean, what happens is these things promise you the world, and they never deliver.
And they took your contacts.
Yeah.
They took your contacts and went on their own direction with your contacts that you provided.
So I mean, that's just
It's
not
dirty. So, I just wanted to call you. I've got to do a group call. I'm going to add you. I got the word from Commander. I don't even have to add them. I'll just call them separate. But Commander's going to write up the show for this week.
awesome.
So you guys will see an email soon. He wanted me to tell you that. He's been messaging me like in the last 10 minutes.
Is everything okay with him?
Yes. I'm going to mute. So I just wanted to, he wanted me to tell you that. So we're live again.
Oh,
But I'm
wow,
gonna call Mark and I'm gonna call Decker and let them know.
I wonder how bad this COVID's going around.
All I know is I've known a few people already. I know a few people actually that have gotten it, but you know, it's like the flu, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not like,
It's not. Like
it is a flu. It's in the flu family.
It's not like you're going to be heading to the hospital emergency room.
Well, she's there now, but she's getting
Oh, wow.
treatment for it. So
Yeah. interesting to see what kind of treatment that they do for it now.
If
No,
they usually now, it's I don't know, but they give that Paxlovid if it's in the early stages of symptoms. But once you're diagnosed with it, they don't give it to you. So I don't know what they're doing because I don't know. I haven't had an issue, so I don't know. You know what I mean? I can't
Right.
speak on it. But also, keep me in the loop if you hear anything about what we've been discussing for the last couple of days.
yeah, I'm looking at that, and what was it? Was there? I think there was a headline. I just want to tell you. Let me see. What is it? There was one headline. I forgot what it was.
Nothing's gonna happen now because it's daylight over there. If anything is gonna start tonight, local time, it wouldn't be till maybe after 3 our time on the nightfall. What we're talking about is what's going on in Israel. And if they're going to launch an attack, they're going to do it on the darkness. And Israel is 7 hours ahead of our time
guess-
zone in the
I
east.
guess they're having problems with the Taliban too now.
So,
'Cause that's the article I wanted to tell
so
you.
now Afghanistan is.
Afghanistan is coming back with all these training camps, and they're not sure what to do about it because they've been giving Afghanistan $20 million every 2 weeks.
Holy shit. So,
Yeah, so all that money's been going to the terrorist camps.
the thing that we discussed, because Iran is 7.5 hours ahead of me in the east.
Sorry, here it is. Israel prepared for Iran attack amid warnings of possible nuclear threats.
Oh, well, that nuclear thing is always going to raise its ugly head in a situation like this because of fear of escalation. Here's my concern, actually, 2 of them. Actually, 3. Will the United States have its assets in place if and when this happens? Number 1.
They do.
Number 2, will the other countries that were part of the defensive measures taken in April be there again? Like
They won't.
the UK, France, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, to help deflect anything that may be coming inbound from Iran? Will Iran even launch from Iran in that 5-6 hour trip it takes to reach Israel with drones? Or the missiles are faster, the ballistic missiles are faster, but I personally think that it's going to come from a lot closer, like Hezbollah, Syria, probably the Houthis. I don't know if Iran is directly going to launch. I'm speculating, but I think it's going to come more from the proxies, if I had to guess.
Well, I think sooner or later, would Iran saying the threats? And remember, the last time they did the drone strike, they sent several drones to try to bomb Israel.
Yeah, but a lot of them were taken down.
Right, but I think this time, I think it'll be a coordinated attack.
Oh,
I
it
think
is.
it'll be a pocket.
Oh, it will be.
What's that?
That's what they're worried about. That's what Israel's preparing for. A coordinated attack coming from multiple directions. They're preparing for that.
Right, and that's why I think they're afraid of nuke, because they know Iran's not afraid to use the nuclear bomb if they get it. And everybody says, oh, they don't have it yet, they don't have it yet. I can't see where North Korea and China haven't given it to them yet.
Here's the thing, though. The one thing, and I'm just saying this as a basis, the Mossad, the Israeli have one of the top intelligence agencies in the world. And I'll get to the next point after that. But they're monitoring. If they have any indication that a launch like that's going to happen, they're going in and they're going to just fucking level it. It's going to be totaled. They're not going to accept that. That's number 1.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. But remember, the Mossad, how do you send all these missiles to Hezbollah, right? If you have the greatest intelligence system in the world, and they got caught off guard when Hamas attacked.
Did you hear the latest?
No.
So supposedly, allegedly, I cannot confirm this. This is what I-24 is reporting as of this morning. Iran has arrested some Revolutionary Guard Corps members for planting that bomb in the guest house. And they're being arrested as coordinating and working with Israeli intelligence. So some wild shit, maybe, I don't know if it's true, but supposedly the Mossad influenced and convinced a few Revolutionary Guards to go spy on them and plant these bombs in the guardhouse. Can you fucking imagine that?
Yeah.
I mean, in the guest house.
I would believe that story because you got to remember, Iran at one time they wanted to overthrow these mullahs and everything. So I mean, it's not an unbelievable thing. It's kind of believable that there's probably people within the guard and everything else that hate this type of regime.
Yep. So
Yeah.
that's the latest, that it was actually an inside job done by the IRGC, some of them, members of the IRGC, that actually were working with Israel to help plant that bomb inside the guest house to set it up. That is unbelievable. If it's true, that's, there's so much propaganda out there that I take it with a grain of salt, obviously. But if it comes out that that's true, wow. And Iran is not going to say anything about that because it shows the instability and the coup element within the IRGC. That there are members within his own Revolutionary Guard that is supposed to be so loyal, and you have a few of them disloyal to do this. Oh my gosh. What else are they doing? Who else is involved? They don't want to say that publicly. No freaking way.
Now, you got to remember here, you got a very tight security on this guy, and somehow or another they were able to penetrate the security to plant this thing. So, I mean, they got to have inside people to do that.
That's why Israel isn't confirming or denying it. Because
Right.
from a technical point of view, they didn't plant the bomb. If this is true from a technical point of view, it was the own fucking IRGC that did it.
Yeah, but if they...
I'm just saying a technicality, Chris. Just a technicality.
Right, but I mean, nobody's good. Yeah, the way the world is right now, if they even have the slightest hint that they gave them the bomb, they're going to blame Israel.
Of course. Oh, I know that. That's public opinion, and again, the propaganda mechanism of it all. But it's still interesting. I would keep an eye. I told you, keep an eye on that Cyprus One Click or Click One Cyprus One Click on YouTube, because he's been showing the cameras on the Lebanon-Israeli border on YouTube. I would once in a while just keep an eye on that, and just keep an eye on everything that's going on around, because it's going to happen on the nightfall if it happens. Not going to happen in daylight.
Did you hear about a report of a Russian submarine being sunk in Ukraine?
No.
Check that out. Apparently, they reported that a Russian submarine was sunk off the coast of Ukraine.
When did this happen? This had to be recent.
Yeah. And probably the last couple of days. So, I mean, if that's correct, all right, Putin just lost possibly a nuclear-powered submarine.
Oh, shit, dude. It's on the Associated Press. Ukraine intensifies its long-range strike, sinking a Russian submarine and striking an airfield. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
The AP released it.
Yeah. So that worries me too, because when you start sinking, submarines.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yes, dude. That's major.
And Ukraine does not have the technology to sink a Russian sub. I'm telling you, that's got to be us. That's my belief. Think about it. How does Ukraine, a country like that, have the technology to sink a Russian sub?
Holy shit. Holy shit. Ukraine struck a Russian Kilo-class submarine. I need to look at what kind of submarine that is. A Kilo-class submarine and a S-400 anti-aircraft missile complex in Crimea. Holy shit. That's going to be... Russia's not going to take that lightly.
No, that's what I'm saying. That really is something, because think about this. This is a I believe those are nuclear powered submarines, right?
I'm looking it up right now as we speak. Fuck Wikipedia. I don't want to look at Wikipedia.
So if that's the case, that it was sunk, does Ukraine actually have the technology? Somebody gave Ukraine the technology to do that.
It says here, this is an August 2023 article. Russia's Kilo-class submarine improved and more deadlier than ever. It's a diesel-electric submarine.
All right, so diesel electric, even so, it's a very sophisticated submarine for what I understand.
Yeah, they upgraded it.
And stuff. So if that's the case, Putin's got to be saying, Ukraine doesn't have that technology. Where the hell? I guarantee you, they're looking to find out where that technology came from.
I
And
wonder.
if it came from the United States. I mean, he's gonna okay. He's gonna take the gloves off.
I wonder how many naval officers were on board, or if they were able to
Oh,
get.
they could prove at least 100 or more.
But I'm saying, I wonder if they were able to get them off. I don't know.
I don't think so. If they sunk a sub, that means the sub was underwater.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming too. But
Right.
how did they do that?
Well, that's you just said the $1 million question. How did they do that? The Ukraine doesn't have the technology to float the sub underwater. You just said the same question I did. How did Zelensky? All right.
Oh, it was anchored. It was anchored.
Okay, so even anchor.
They're still there. There's still a crew on board.
Yeah, who's got the technology to sink a sub like that? Okay, this is technology that's well above Ukraine's.
It has the ability to launch Caliber cruise missiles. There's 4 of them that the Russians are operating, part of their Black Fleet. It's one of 4.
That's a very big deal.
Holy, it is a big deal, Chris.
So I mean, there are people out there that are
Wow.
pushing for it. They want a war in the worst way.
Wow. That's just not good, because I wouldn't be surprised if Kim Jong Fatty does something now to stir shit up. I would not be surprised if North Korea, Kim, does something to garner attention, because he loves attention.
It all depends what China tells them. If Russia says, hey, we got to do something about this, and China says, okay, Kim, this is what we want you to do. I mean, he depends on China. So if China tells him, start hitting South Korea, start doing this on this date, he's going to do it.
It's also about the strategic chessboard about the United States moving assets. They have it there already, but I'm saying, like, okay, now we have to be there. We have to be in the Strait of Hormuz near Iran, which I'm sure they're there, in the Persian Gulf. They have to have a presence there. They're going to have a presence in the Mediterranean Sea. We're starting to spread thin all over the place. See what I'm saying? So they could be maneuvering being done. Now the Black Sea with this, near Ukraine, with Russia. So it's also strategic to push our buttons to make moves. So we can't put certain assets in place. And it's done purposely behind the scenes with the axes. You know what I mean? They're all in communication. China, Russia, Iran, they're all working together. So, oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, and North Korea, I wouldn't be surprised if there's conversations going right now with all four saying, listen, we'll do this to help take the pressure a little bit off of you. Like shit like that. Oh my God. Can't even imagine.
All right, well, keep me posted.
Dude, keep me posted because, like I said, if anything is gonna happen on this night, it would be after 3 or 4 our time, where it's nightfall in Israel.
Gotcha.
But keep me posted.
I'll keep you posted.
All right. I'm gonna call the rest. Call me if anything.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, let's call. I gotta make 2 more calls. It's just the way it goes. I have to mute with him. He does not like being heard while I'm live streaming. If he picks up. It's only 9. No, it's almost 10 a.m. where he is in California. All right, let me call Mark. Good afternoon.
What do you want?
I'm live, but I just wanted to call you. Commander got in contact with me. He's going to write up the show for this week.
Okay.
And I got to mute because I got to tell you something. Are you streaming live tonight?
I was thinking of going live with the show tonight. Is that okay?
Of course it is. You just gotta let me know.
Okay, I'm letting you know.
So you're gonna set it up?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and set it up. I'll make sure I can get in.
What about Tara?
She already knows, and she's going to try to connect with you as well. You might want to just reach out to her first.
All right, I'll reach out to her once you have the link, the stream created, and then I'll send her the link, and then I'll give her the code if she needs it.
Okay.
So how long before you think you set it up on StreamYard?
I'm actually going into Chrome Dome now.
So I should wait like a half hour, and then I'll set it up on my end.
Well, I got to apparently log in to StreamYard again, so let me do that.
Do it now while I can give you the code.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's Skywatcher.
Hold on.
Bill. Let me have the code now. Immediately.
It's coming. I can get that
Right
off of
now.
my phone.
What are you waiting for?
It was, dude, last night was so much fun with Randall. It was so much fun.
Oh, cool.
Okay, here it is.
Remember to tell him I said hi? You're lucky.
Don't make me laugh. So this is Mark D'Antonio. Check out his channel, of course, on YouTube, Sky Tour Livestream. On Rumble, it's Sky Tour Livestream too, right?
No, it's a Sky Tour.
Or is it W? Oh my God, I can't remember now. Not on Rumble. I know your YouTube. But anyway, the place to go is skytourlive.org, because that'll give you all the information, images, everything you need to know about Sky Tour is on skytourlive.org, pretty much.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you change all the sources and destinations?
No. No.
The hell
because some people aren't renewing their destinations and they're disappearing.
Oh, because I don't have any of my stuff on here.
You have to re-add them because it's been a while. StreamYard does that.
Oh, so I click KJRA Broadcasting. I'm gonna add my YouTube channel.
Click destination. It might ask you to put everything back.
Yeah,
Reconnect, I might say.
yeah.
Is it?
Trying to. Oh, well, I'll work on that.
You work on that. I'll keep an eye out in a half hour. Once I see the stream set up, I'll hit up Tara. What are you going to be talking about tonight on the show? Do you know?
I don't know yet. I gotta figure it out.
Okay.
I think it might be kind of a pop story. That's all. Because there's so much happening.
I know. We've had another round of solar activity.
Yeah.
Then you have the Perseids coming up, peaking next weekend.
Yep.
So there's a bunch of stuff going on, is right.
I know. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. I'll see you shortly before 6 Eastern.
Nope.
And
Sounds good.
what?
Sounds good.
Oh, okay. Call me. Well, you don't have to call me. I'll just keep an eye out.
All right.
All right. See you later.
Wow.
All righty.
All right.
Bye. So Mark is going live tonight. So now I have to get my shit together. Because I have a replay in there. So I got to take it out. Where the heck is it? Right there. Remove. Now I'll wait for him to set up and redo everything. Anyway. I'm glad he's going live. So I'll be busy today. A lot of shows going on. All right. So last night, as I said, I was at Pine Bush for the aerial phenomenon screening. And yes, Amol, you would hate this, but Bill saved the day again, like I always do at Pine Bush. It's not new. But I don't know which images are what. So this is a film that's being made in Pine Bush, in the Hudson Valley, in the New York metropolitan area, tri-state area. It was cloudy here. I wouldn't know. I was so busy. I was busy last night. I don't know what the heck is going on lately. To be honest, I'm really busy. But it's called Chaska. I know, Pig Pug, I know. But what was I going to say? This is a film that she's making. Her name is Liz. And it's fiction. And it's really cool, the concept. Just to give a rough background, she's a young woman who undergoes, by a freaky thing, some kind of DNA test, and then the military gets wind of it and finds out that they're looking for her based on her DNA because it's coming up abnormal. And her parents have been trying to hide this from everyone. And she seems to have some kind of extraterrestrial power. She's a hybrid. And it's the concept that she was telling me is so cool. So this is one of the people I met last night. This is the front of the museum. It's all displayed because some of the filming was done in Pine Bush. What's up, Heidi? What's up, Susie? So yeah, this is a film it's under development. There is a trailer. Just look up Chasta trailer 2024 and you'll see the trailer for this. And the filmmaker is awesome. She is super cool. I don't know what photos I put in here. I'm just going to click on it. That's last night. See how fat I still look? I see these pictures and I still have a fucking complex. How much more weight I got to lose. So that's Randall Nickerson last night. And this is after the event was over. Oh, this is a different picture. So that's Randall. And the Aerial Phenomenon film is all based on the Zimbabwe case. John Mack, how he looked into it. The kids interviewed when they were children and some of them as adults. That's the filmmaker of the Chaska movie. She's super cool. Super cool. Just to give it a little... That was in front of the museum last night, too. I highly recommend people see this film. It's really good. It has zero to do with special effects. Zero. It's all about the kids. It's all about the children. And their testimony at the time, what happened, what they seen, what they experienced, and their drawings. And then when it got the attention of the BBC, if it wasn't for the BBC, this story may have never been reported. They would have buried it. Tim, I can't remember his last name. He passed away in 2011. Suspiciously. As of Randall was telling me, he's not so sure about how this man passed away. Circumstances. But also how John Mack got involved. And it has John Mack's interviews with the children. And it's revealing. And it's emotional. Because some of these kids went through some serious trauma. And you could see the emotion when specifically one of them goes back to visit the school. Mom, I'm live, what? What is it, Ma? Huh? What?
Are you working?
No, I'm live, but I'm going to get off soon because I got to work.
Oh, okay.
But I highly recommend... I'm talking to them, Mom. What are you doing?
You know what I'm
This is why I wrote the song Momzilla.
doing.
She was in on it. She's laughing because she knows. She was in on it when I wrote it.
Did you really say hello?
Tell her I said hello because I had to.
He said hello.
Imagine if she found out I wrote a Momzilla song about her. She would be pissed. So I had to have her part of it. If it would work, that is. I can't even see you on there. You can't even see me on Rumble? That's weird. You always say that, but it's... People are watching on Rumble. There's 4 people watching on Rumble. At the moment right now. So I'm sure they can see. I don't know what's going on with your issue. I would suggest you use a different browser, copy and paste it into a different browser and see if it works. It's the only thing I could think of, Pigpug. Now, Lewis. Definitely, if you can go camping to a dark site location next weekend and the weather's good, do it for the Perseids Meteor Shower. Definitely do it. I'm going to stream it if it's clear here. This is the best show every year with the Geminids. Definitely go out and try to see this in a dark area. It's great. And if it's clear. It's a no-brainer. I would tell everybody to go outside and enjoy it. If not with the light pollution, if you live in a city, forget about that. But if you're in a dark area and it's clear, go outside. Look up. It's that simple. And the moon is not going to be an issue this year. It's going to be an issue for the Geminids in December, but it's not going to be an issue for the Perseids. So I highly recommend people go out, go outside, start preparing for your outdoor event now. That's what I would do. I'm watching it right now on Rumble. I see myself. I see myself on Rumble. So I'm going to put the camera down. That's Rumble. That's the Rumble feed right there. This is now. There's Rumble. So let's put up a finger. I put this finger up. I didn't use another finger. So let's see. We should see the finger. This is Rumble. Rumble is a little delayed. It has a little lag. See, I'm even talking about Rumble. I now shared the screen. That's weird. I'm going back and forth. It's kind of bizarre when I'm flipping back and forth. There's the finger. So that's Rumble. So Rumble is working. Just saying. It is working. So yes, Lewis, definitely go camping. Now, not to go backwards on the stream. Let me get rid of Rumble on the screen. If you live near the Panhandle in Florida, prepare for a Cat 1 incoming. Prepare. It's not going to be a big hurricane. It's a fast mover. Don't go nuts. It's a storm. It's rapidly developing. I'll say that. But the two models have it. The Euro has it pretty much going more to the east here. The American has it going more over here. And it'll be a Cat 1, most likely, when it makes landfall. So there's the little turn jog on the Euro. Historically, the Euro is more accurate than the American model. So let's see. Steinhatchee? It looks like the Euro is predicting landfall with the eye. Yep. The American has it more to the west, east of Apalachicola. So here's the American. Oh, the American jog. See? The American always does that. It catches up to the Euro. Now it's shifted more east. So you have the eye coming in here from the Euro, and the American was over here earlier today. Can you believe it? Early this morning, the American had it here. The American is now getting closer to the Euro model. It always does. It always does. That's why I always go by the Euro. So somewhere in there, tomorrow morning, Debbie's going to have landfall. But then what does it do from there? And I'm going to stick with the Euro model, which is a major concern. So once it goes over land, it loses its energy, it loses its punch a little bit. No water for the eye to take energy from. But then, it's going back over the ocean. Now that eye wall is wobbly and it's not well defined, which is a good thing because it just re-entered water. It's not going to have time to really develop unless it's stalled, which I don't think is going to happen much. It's moving slower. But look at the impacts here in the Carolinas. Oh, I just hit the wrong thing. And landfall predicted right there in the Carolinas. But it's moving kind of quick, actually, which is a saving grace. So landfall is near Myrtle Beach, which means a hell of a lot of storm surge in this area as it approaches. If you back it out, see, that's more, it's onshore more here. It's going along the shoreline here. But it's moving so fast, it's hard to show it as it comes in. It really is difficult. See, it doesn't want to make that change. But yeah, this has to be watched carefully because of intensification. Where does it go over the water? How long is it over the water? Or will it make a turn more to the south near Savannah, Georgia, like the American model is indicating? And it's here. And actually, the American model has it stronger than earlier today. So does it make landfall more down south in Georgia? I don't know. They're not sure. Neither are the models. So anywhere, if you live anywhere up this coastline, from North Carolina, not so much, South Carolina down to Georgia, you need to watch where this storm goes. No, I have not been seeing that. So this has got to be watched. Now, the weird thing about the American, as I was saying earlier, it has Debbie going west, pretty much to Alabama, and then going back down to the south and redeveloping as a storm again. It's so bizarre. Look at the low. This is Debbie. So now it's here. It's not organized, but it's here. This is the remnant. Then look what happens. It's sitting there, but now it's going to the south. Now, what the hell is that? What do we have here? Almost identical to what's happening right now. Almost identical. Another storm developing. In the same spot. Oh, that is bizarre. It just went down again. Now it's going up again. And now it's inland. It's funny how bad the American changes per hour. It's so ridiculous. I bet you the Euro's not saying any of that. The Euro has something near Mexico, but nothing here. See, the Euro doesn't show that at all. Nothing. Except for this piece of energy right here. Which may not develop into anything, but it looks like a low is starting to try to develop in there. Trying. Which may not happen. And now it's a mess. But there's still some energy in here. Right in there. Will this develop into anything? Way, way too early to make that prediction. But this is a piece of energy, and this is the Euro. I trust the Euro more. This is something that needs to be watched in a week. Not now, a week from now. And there's a bubble here, which the steering currents have it driving to the west. If this holds up, there's a high pressure over here. But that kind of is like a low because it's counterclockwise. That's a weird that's weird setup. I don't know if that's. This is a weak high pressure. Right here. And that would steer it. If that developed right into Florida, right into the Gulf, or even up the coast again, depending where this high pressure ends up. So these are the ingredients. Right in there. The steering currents. Which way would this go? It's not going up. It's got a blocker and a high. It would not go up. It would go west. Would it curve? Or would it continue to go west? Way too early to tell. But the season is ramping up now. September 10th is the peak of the hurricane season, I believe. Hurricane season, Atlantic peak date. I think it's September 10th. Something like that. NOAA. From mid-August through mid-October, the activity spikes, accounting for 78% of the tropical storm days, 87% of the Category 1 and 2 hurricane days. Oh, there it is. September 10th. The peak. Right there. So it's just starting. It's just starting to ramp up now. Look at August 1st. Well, we're right in here now. Long way to go to the peak. So this is why it's important to keep an eye on the Atlantic, the Gulf, coastal areas. This is the time to start paying attention. Now, okay, so the latest alert must have came out. Let's go to the Hurricane Center. NOAA. Let's see what the 1 o'clock update is. It's got to be 1 o'clock. As of 11. That's right, the next one doesn't come till 2. It's 2 o'clock. Heavy rainfall, Florida, southeast Georgia, and the coastal plain of the Carolinas through Friday. Potentially historic heavy rainfall across southeast Georgia and South Carolina through Friday morning may result in areas of catastrophic flooding. This is not me, this is NOAA. This is from the Hurricane Center. Significant river flooding is also expected. Storm surge, Gulf Coast of Florida, 6 to 10 feet above ground level. Hurricane conditions are expected Monday along portions of the Florida Big Bend region, where hurricane warning is in effect. So impacts from storm surge and strong winds are possible along the southeast coast of Georgia to North Carolina through the middle of the week, just like I've been showing you on the models. And storm surge watches and tropical storm watches have been issued for portions of these areas. Additional watches and warnings will likely be required later today, of course, as the movement of the storm is more known and they have a better idea where it's going to track. But look at that. That's why I emphasize Georgia and South Carolina specifically. Because it's not so much about the wind, it's about the rainfall and how this thing is going to linger and sit over this area for a prolonged period of time, as the models are showing. So just look at what it says there. Potentially historic heavy rainfall across southeast Georgia and South Carolina through Friday morning may result in areas of catastrophic flooding. Oh, might see auroras tonight? Well, my weather is terrible here. We've got storms inbound. But this is what people need to pay attention to. It's not about the wind. What kills, sadly, more people in a storm like this than anything else? Water related. It's water related. Sadly, most deaths occur to storm surge, flooding, people driving in it. You know, that's the highest percentage. So it's more about this rain event that worries me. What causes most I don't want to even put it like that because I don't want to sound morbid. Life-threatening conditions hurricane. That's the areas. Okay. 5 deadliest hurricane related. Storm surge. Inland flooding. Just like I said. High winds is third. Rip currents, another water related. Tornadoes, absolutely isolated tornadoes. Absolutely. And the bands, absolutely. I don't know if anything else is going to come up with the statistics. That's preparedness. I didn't want to put certain keywords in there because I don't like to do that. Predicting the areas most at risk, we know what that is. Maybe this one. This is BS. But yes, it's water related. Bottom line, it's water related. Most of them. I really don't want to put the language in there. I hate to do it. But it's only really, I think, the only way to get the true statistics. It's talking about specific storms. It's all about Ian. It ranks the... Okay, here it is. I don't like to do this, but it doesn't indicate flood events, storm surge. See, it doesn't break it down. But it's definitely over 50%. Easy. Wow, this is crazy. For statistics. Yeah, that's just nutty. But I think a lot of people realize that it's water related. Okay. Maybe here. This is probably a PDF. See, I like statistics. That's not really giving me much. And they want you to pay. I mean, give me a freaking break, really? Yeah, it's gonna be tough. But anyway, when it says that catastrophic flooding, historical rainfall may occur, when I see that with water related, that's bad. the Hurricane Center is saying potential historic rainfall event for Georgia, southeast Georgia, the Carolinas. Catastrophic flooding is possible. Because as you've seen on the models, the storm is going to sit over the same areas. Does that not sound familiar in the past with a hurricane? Do you remember that? What that did? What was it, Henry? I can't remember that. So many. Not good. Which was the one? Anybody know? Pickle making. I love pickles. Yes. The next powwow is coming up, but I don't know if I'm going to go because I'm so busy. It's coming up either next week or the following at Bear Mountain, the powwow. I should go. Matter of fact, you got now, Pig Pug, you made me think. Bear Mountain powwow, because I have to buy tickets. I don't know, Mom's not going with me this time. She was complaining about going home. It passed already. Fuck. It was 2 weekends ago. I missed it. I missed it. They have others, but I don't even know where the hell that is. I like going to them. Especially when I found out I'm 20% Native American. No, this is not like Elizabeth Warren saying that. It came up in the DNA for me. It's not fabricated or exaggerated or however you want to phrase it. I'm just seeing if there is any powwows coming. There is another one. Oh, this is old. Well, that's the same site. I'll deal with this later. They're not updating. Oh, here we go. August 10th and 11th. Then the next one in New York is in October. Oh, this is Long Island. I'm not going to Long Island. Hell no. The town of Babylon. Let me see where this is. It's actually next weekend. I have to get off soon because I got to get ready for work. And eat. I haven't had anything to eat yet. Though I got some oatmeal sugar-free cookies nearby. Let's see where this powwow is going to be. Yep, Long Island. I knew it. No way. Absolutely not. So it's going to be held there. That is a sick drive for me. To go into the city alone is sick. Let alone Long Island. It's worse. I got to go through the city to get to Long Island. And that's like Suffolk County, Long Island, almost. That's a nice little ride. Not happening. So, at least I went to the powwow last year. It was really nice. It's good to see, it's not just because I found out that there's Native American blood in my, it's just to see how beautiful the ceremonies are. And you get in touch with some of the history that some people may not be even aware of. And I like that. Like I was talking to somebody here, it is a disgrace, an absolute disgrace, that we don't have the festivals like we used to have here. The German festivals, there's one coming up in September, which I'm going to go to. Germania in Poughkeepsie is going to have one. I'm going. The Celtic festivals in Bear Mountain, and you don't have to be Irish to go to a Celtic festival. You don't have to be German to go to a German festival. I could bring Mom in the room where she left my door open, which drives me nuts. I go to every festival I possibly can. I'm a social, forget of it. I love talking, mingling. Really, I love it. But the German festivals, German, Greek, Celtic, Puerto Rican, Italian, American Indian. I mean, I can't even think of all the ones I've been to. I love to see the culture, the music, the food associated, and the people. I love to experience that. That's just me, though. And Mom loves it, too. I love it. And, of course, it's a very positive overall. Because no matter where you go, there could be an incident that happens anywhere at any time. People are drinking. Shit happens. That goes without saying. But generally speaking, the vast majority are there to have a good time, laugh, enjoy. That's what it's about. For me, at least. And I have so many videos of so many places I've been to and gone and experienced. Exactly. It's a beautiful thing. To me, it's beautiful. What? Oh, raining cats and dogs. Up by where she is. She lives in an actual castle. Isolated. She actually lives in a fucking castle. That's gotta be interesting. One day I'm gonna ask, by the way, Randall may join me on Randall Nickerson, the maker of the Aerial Phenomenon film, may join me here during a Skywatch. He wants to. That would be cool. One day I'll get some of these people on with me. I used to do that a lot in the past. I don't do that hardly no more. I should. Bring some of these people that I know and work with on here with me. But it's not going to be that's when I put the game face on and I kind of change how I deal with things. It's more serious tone. Then that's when you'll hear a different side of me. It's like we have to step this up a little bit. But I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm definitely gonna do that. Why not? I have all the contacts. I have so many people that I know. Why not have them come on and talk about their work, research, all that? And they'll do it for me. Even if only 5 people are watching. They'll still do it for me. Anyway, let's see if Mark set up his stream. Then I need to disappear. Because he's going live tonight. Sky Tour live stream. Sky Tour radio, actually. He did not do it yet. That was 45 minutes ago, Mark. 45 minutes ago, Mark, if you're watching. Just saying. Anyway. I think it's that I don't have to go yet because I can't do anything. Mark's not ready. I've got so many windows open here. That's funny, Kevin. I want to talk about all the different Red Bull flavors that are available for public consumption throughout the world, and how each can looks, and how it's presented in each country, in their language, the different color variations. Oh, I find that so intriguingly interesting. By the way, I can't drink that shit. That shit just gets me too amped up like I'm gonna have a heart attack. So I'm not interested in Red Bull. Not even on a personal level. No. I did get the other batteries for the bike. So now I have 3. And they're all charged and ready to go. Just the weather sucks. Simple as that. It is brutal. Which I need to check that too. Because there could be some strong storms coming this way today. Oh, they're in the area. Wow. They're getting hammered. They are getting hammered. Up north in New England. Thank God that shit isn't happening here. No wonder she told me that. Like I said, I have actually tried a Red Bull, but it had me wigging, and I didn't like the feeling of it. I did not like that caffeine rush, and ugh, no freaking way. I don't need it. I mean, if I'm exhausted, I'll drink coffee. Like I did last night. I don't think I'd do a Red Bull. No. That's just me, though. I'm sure others would do it. And do it. Not me. Okay, we need to go to weather.com. Let's see what the radar looks like. All eyes on Florida. Wow. There's some nasty storms. Western, well, now more central Mass into south portions of Vermont and New Hampshire. This is ugly. That's a nasty line. Right there. That's nasty. That, I don't even like that hook in there. There's a little hook going on in here. Nasty. It's probably pushing east or northeast, if I had to guess. Yep, exactly. Actually, both. North, northeast, east, northeast. Now, what is it predicting for me? Nothing yet. Most of the storms are to my south. Here's the future radar. Doesn't look too bad. Most of the storms are going to be to the south. New York City, Connecticut. I might get spared again. Let me see what AccuWeather is showing. This is the weather channel. Let me see what AccuWeather is saying. Or showing. Future model. Well, now that looks a little worse. It's this line I would have to worry about right here if this develops. And not showing much. Showers. Not much here. Even though that's a future model, that really can't be trusted too much, but not too bad. The great thing that's going to happen here is the temperatures next week. Oh my God, tomorrow's 90. That's it. Bye-bye for a while. Thank God. Thank God. Back to normal. Finally. Finally, after almost 2 months, back to normal. 81, 75, 73, 71, 70. Look at that. Oh my God, that's lovely. Great bike riding weather. That's normal. See the temperatures? Those are normal. It hasn't been normal in almost 2 months. Oh, I'm getting refreshed just looking at these numbers. Even though there's a couple of showers, it's still great. At night, it's going to be in the 50s in the morning. At night, this one because of the rain. Let's see, overnight. I'm curious. What's it going to fall to? 65 because of the rain. Let's go to, it's going to be like rainy all week. It's going to be unsettled. Give me some 50s. Oh, that's, why does it keep doing that? $90 tomorrow though. Cloudy and cooler. 59. There is Wednesday morning. 59. 62. Here it comes. 61. There's that rain. 62, 61, 62. Beautiful overnight temperatures. Lovely. I'll take that. Yeah. The Yankees are still, you know, a contender for the American League East. Toronto better luck next year. I think they're a game out, and they've been playing like crap. Matter of fact, a lot of teams that could have taken off, it looks very mediocre right now across the league. Nobody wants to take it. It looks that bad. The Yankees have been doing terrible. Terrible. But if you look at the overall standings, the Yankees are now tied for first place, despite how bad they were playing. And they're going to get a lot of pieces now back. They had a lot of injuries. Their pitching was decimated. They're coming back. So is the relief corps. And so are some of those in the minor leagues. They're getting healthy again. So the Yankees might return to form like they looked at the beginning of the year, which is scaring people. Because even with their mediocrity, terrible play over the last month or so, they're still right there. Toronto is sitting 14 and a half games behind. But 66, look at this, 67. The Mariners, 59. So right now, the Cleveland Guardians have, by one game, the best record in the American League. 65, 62, 64. Yankees have a better record than anybody in the National League. And that's considering how bad they've been playing, but how good they started. So that's why I say there's a certain level in the league. It's like there's no team that wants to elevate, separate themselves from the pack, from the rest. And by the way, as I said before the Olympics started, who are the two top countries in the Summer Olympics? It's usually the same ones. China, and of course the United States, who leads the overall medal count in the Summer Olympics and overall gold count in the Summer Olympics. The United States is number one in both categories. You can look that up yourselves. So where does the medal count stand right now? They're China, United States. China, United States. Though the United States has more medals than anybody by far. But they go by the gold. But the United States is going to get a lot of more gold on that list. The basketball team's most likely going to get the gold. Simone Biles is probably going to fetch a few more. The track, the United States gold level is going to go up. If I had to make a prediction. We're at 68 medals. 24 more than China. It's not even fucking close. And now I'll share the screen to show you the stats. This is like the latest. As I said before the games even started, because I looked it up, did the research. China, United States on top. And really the United States, they go by the gold rank. As you can see, they go by gold medals to put the ranking. So France and the United States are tied. Oh no, bullshit. They were close. The United States just surged today. They have 17. They did a surge. Wonder what medals they won today. Who won those golds? But China has 19. That's why they're number one in the rankings. U.S. has 17. But the United States has 68 medals total. Look at this. Look how close with silvers they were to getting gold. Because that's what you got to look at. 26 silvers, second place. So close, but not close enough to getting a gold. But 26 athletes have silver. That's amazing. And you can see the top 10 countries. Canada is number 11. France is up there with 48. The UK has 37. but United States, 68. And the medal breakdown. Simone is going to get, if she hasn't already gotten one, I think it's tomorrow, she's going to get another one. And 7 in swimming. What about the greatest female swimmer in Olympic history, Ledecky? Well, I think she has 14 now. Katie Ledecky? Yeah. The most decorated, period, ever. The greatest female swimmer in Olympic history. There it is. She has 9 gold, I believe. Yep, gold medal number 9. 9 gold medals. Michael Phelps, remember that's male, has 23 medals. Michael Phelps had 23 gold medals. Holy shit. I'll tell you, the one Canadian star, the one Canadian star that's standing out is Summer for her swimming. She's a superstar. But see how they have it ranked here? By the medals. Number 1, they have the USA, 68. China has 44, but China has more gold. Not by much. That'll change. United States is definitely going to probably get more gold before this is all over. But unbelievable. Unbelievable. I believe she has 14 now. Medals, total medals. And that's a record. Total Olympic medals. Well, those are just listing all her medals. Oh, come on, Mark. You should know better. So yeah, I know she has the 14 medals, I believe. Time. Oh, this might be old. Okay. Anyway. This might... How old is this? August 4th. And that was in the morning before she won her other medals. So this is old fucking news, people. 14, Katie, I believe she has the record. Katie Ledecky, 14 Olympic medals. There it is. Okay. So yeah, there it is. Historic 14th Olympic medal. She is the most decorated female swimmer in Olympic history. And that's the other superstar I was talking about. Canada's Summer McIntosh. Anyway, so she's a superstar. If one thing Canada can definitely say is really a Canadian superstar in swimming, it's her. She is incredible. And she's definitely representing the future of their Olympic. How old is she? She's only 17 years old. What a future she has. She is definitely a superstar already, a rising star. She's going to win a lot more. So keep an eye on that name if you're interested in this stuff. This is a force to be reckoned with for years to come. Definitely. God willing, she stays healthy and everything. She is going to be a force. She is a force already. So yeah, this, like I said, there's so much stuff going on in the Olympics. I think the finals start tomorrow in basketball, the final 8. But I need to get off now because I got to go to work. So anybody who's watching, be well, be blessed, be safe. If you're in Florida, the Carolinas, hell no. Not me, an Olympic athlete? Are you crazy? I was a good athlete, but you have to be on a pro level. I mean, far from that. But be well, be blessed, be safe. See everybody later on tonight, maybe. We'll see. Because I'm getting up early to go bike riding.